Good morning, good morning. It's the Last Minute Laura show. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hi everybody, welcome back. Nice to see you, welcome, good morning. Glad to have you. Let's try that again, but with the right mic. Apologies, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Crossing my legs. It's the Last Minute Laura show. Good morning, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Hey there, Oracle. Hey, Sid. Hey, Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? Welcome back. Oh, Sid, the retrogrades. They're getting to ya. Good morning, V. Good morning, Frida. Hey there, Helmet. Long time no see. Hey, Louisa. Good morning, Mary Grace. Nice to see you all here this morning. I hope you're all doing well. Did I miss anyone? If I did, just let me know you're here and I'll say hello. Candace, if you're here but you're not in the chat yet, good morning. Nice to see you. And, oh, thank you for the kick line, Nikki. Glad that you're back. How are you all doing? Good morning. For those of you that are new here, this live stream is something that we do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. It's just a simple, chill hangout where we chat, we talk about the things that are going on with us. Often it is centered on crafty things, plants, animals, yarn, fabric, that sort of stuff. So if you're into the cottagecore vibes, this is a place for you. And if you're growing a garden and you know not what you are doing, this is a place for you. So definitely subscribe if you're new and like the video if you're not new, because please. Have you noticed the retrograde has hit YouTube super hard? 3 big blowups between friends in the commentary channel side in the last 2 weeks. I have the YouTube drama I've been following has been the trifecta that surrounds Trisha Paytas. For some reason, okay, a long time ago, Alex's little sister watched Trisha Paytas when she was doing like the crying on the kitchen floor dramas. And I remember she was in, like, I think she was still in high school and I was in university, and I would like see her doing that. She'd be doing her homework and listening to these just trash, like, venting videos with like this troll. She would just cry on the floor about anything. And when I saw it at that point, I was like, this girl's nuts. Like, what are you watching her for? All she's doing is like, it's not healthy. Like, it's like when you watch it, you would like feel bad, but it wouldn't be about something relative to you at all. And then I started watching her out of like just background noise, because she just keeps talking and talking. Maybe that's why you're hanging out with me, just because I keep talking and talking. And then I was already watching H3, which is another YouTube channel that does like interviews and commentary, and it's just like a silly, it's not like they're educated or interesting people, it's just like fun. But anyway, she started being on this channel about a year ago, and at the beginning I was like, this girl is a troll. And then throughout this year she's been on it, I was like, oh no, she's literally just mentally unwell. When she's surrounded by people who are going to therapy, she behaves like a normal person. When she doesn't have support, she behaves like an animal. Like, she just screams and cries and tears things apart, which is her BPD. So it's crazy though, because it's like watching a car accident. When you watch these things with her, it's like she destroys everything around herself and shares herself doing it and says, I don't care that you think I'm destroying it, I'm not. And oh my god, it makes you want to shake your computer. And I think that she knows that. Like, she's intelligent. She's not smart, but she's intelligent. Like, she doesn't have any education and she doesn't know any facts. Do you know what I mean? But she has a business mind. Like, she's a millionaire. Obviously, she knows how to think. So she's intelligent. But like, watching her destroy her life and then pick it up and then destroy it and then pick it up, it's like mind numbing. But also you can't look away. I hate it. Sweet lady, good morning. Nikki, my addiction on YouTube is true crime discussions. Oh, I got into that for a little while, like the ladies doing their makeup while telling me about true crime. I kind of fell off of that. I was like into the makeup tutorials for 2017? I don't know. I was diagnosed with a dissociation disorder. Dissociation is a symptom, right? dissociation can be a symptom of anxiety and depression and BPD and all that sort of stuff, right? Because dissociating is just when you're like outside of your body. So that's stressful, AJ, but I hope that if you're in therapy for it, that they've given you like reality, what is it called? Reality checks. It's like where you say like, where am I? I'm at home. I can breathe. My family is at home. I have no threat around me. You know, like you check your reality and you just sort of like recenter yourself. It's like when you do this, because then it reminds you that you have fingers or something. I don't know. My therapist was like, when you start to feel like your ears are getting muffly, make sure you can count all your fingers. Squeeze your fingers because it puts feeling back into your hands, which reminds you that you're inside a body. So I was like, okay, cool. Thanks, doctor. Glad that that's medical advice. I mean, it is helpful, but like, you know, like 100 years ago, they'd be like, sprinkle this dehydrated horse manure under your pillow and it will cure your ailments. Now they're like, squeeze your fingers to know that you are in your body. AJ, I dissociate when I'm having a panic attack. Me too, Frida. I dissociate in a way that makes it look like I'm not even having a panic attack. So when I'm having like a panic attack on the inside, I'm like, I could sit here as I am, doing literally nothing, not watching a video, staring ahead of myself. That's how my internal panic attacks are. That's awesome. Laura, I'm loving that mic. I needs one. Isn't it pretty? It like lights up the whole rainbow. And when we plug it into our computer, Nikki, it doesn't shut down the whole thing, which is so cool because the last one didn't want to work. Listening to you talk, Laura, while I paint my living room white before my kids finish school. Oh, that's awesome. A clean white living room. After a year, I'm imagining, of having your kids home, I bet you there's a lot of scuffs on your wall that need to be painted over. Like, just the way I exist in my life, I should actually have, like, my house painted annually. I scuff the walls just by existing here. Where did you get it? Alex, where did you get this microphone? Oh, at Best Buy. Alex got it at Best Buy. It is a HyperX trademark. That's what it says on it. Kingston.
Yeah, HyperX.
Ooh, made in Ireland. Thank you, Ireland. HyperX Podcast S. Why do they have to add letters? I don't appreciate it. Oh, happy birthday, Galactic. Good morning. This is what it feels like. Worst feeling ever. Hold on. My aunt was in the hospital 2 days ago because she almost had a heart attack. It was only a very serious panic attack, though. Yeah, because your body tells you, like, this is the end. And then your brain, you have to remind yourself, like, no, this is just my panic response. I'm not being chased by a lion. My body just thinks I am. Great. Thank you, guys and ladies. And let's see. We are now working on a treatment plan. That's awesome. Good. Get treatment, go to therapy. Everybody, go to therapy. If you've never gone to therapy, I double dog dare you to go to therapy once. No, 3 times. Because the first time it's awkward. You're speaking to a stranger and they're like, tell me your trauma. And you're like, I don't know. Sometimes I have nightmares. But by the 3rd time, you're like, and then you've got like this gossip friend who knows what's going on. Except for they're also a doctor, which is like helpful. It's like gossiping to one of your friends, but the advice they give you is good. That's what it feels like. Good morning, David Brownin. That's what my brain did. Your sweater makes me want to go back to a sweater project I haven't touched in over a month. This morning, I saw this on my sweater shelf, and I was like, it's not cold, it's not hot. I'm gonna wear it. Also, I finished most of my seams for this top portion of the dress. So I finished the seams by folding over the raw edges on the inside and felling them down. But I have been taken to a counselor. It's hard for me to do that since I don't have a permit for driving yet. Oh, yeah, that's not great. Oh, Frida, and they don't know any of your other friends. Or your family. They don't know anyone. And if they do, they can't tell you. Which is super. I'm having another hot day. It is beautiful here. It's a perfect temperature today. It is this temperature, which honestly, if it was this temperature like for 3/4 of the year, I would be very happy with it because I could not have to wear sunscreen, which is super, long sleeves. I'm a little cozy getting to wear a handmade knit thing or crochet thing, which I love, you know. Since I'm official today, the legal age to get one. That's awesome, Galactic. You should call your doctor and be like, hi, I need a therapist or a counselor, please. And then they will, oh, you mean a license. Yeah, that's different. 100+ expected today. Yay, Texas. Well, today, I think here we're only going to be getting in the mid-20s, 20 Celsius, I should say. Right now, it's 19 degrees Celsius because we're getting rain all day. It's a beautiful rainy day. Let me just show you these seams up close, okay? So now the inside and the outside are both, they have no raw edges, which is great because this is not a lined dress, which is a bummer. But I didn't check the pattern before I bought it. I just saw the shape of the dress and I was like, that's the one I want. Also, I was trying to date the fur coat that I purchased and the wedding dress that I purchased at the thrift store earlier in the week. I purchased this beautiful, honestly, to me, it looked like antique. So when I picked it, are those fancy French seams? I wish. No, I'm not quite there yet. French seams require you to like do math before and know what size you are before, because if you sew it wrong, it's like probably my personal hell to remove. No, these ones I sewed the seam regular and then felled over the raw edge. So no, I'm not there. I'm not quite at French seams. Someday I'll make a French seamed item, but not yet. But anyway, this wedding dress that I purchased at the thrift store, let me just show it to you because honestly, it's amazing. And like, you won't believe how much I paid for it. I already told everybody I paid $10 for it, but when you see it, you'll be like, what? I'm pretty sure that the fur coat I purchased and the wedding dress I purchased belonged to the same person. Because they are the same size, they both fit me, and both items had been by hand repaired. So the fur coat had been relined, like all the lining had been cut out, the original lining, and I know that the person who had that coat cared about it because from the original lining there was a little tag that they kept and sewed into their lining. Like they made a pocket inside the coat to sew the original tags into so that they wouldn't be gone. Like I was looking for information in the coat, like sizing, brand, style number, anything, to try and find out what it is. And there was a second, like, the lining had a secret pocket with the original lining tag sewn into it. So the person who bought that fur coat knew what they were doing with it. Also, the wedding dress that I bought was handmade. Both of them fit me specifically. So I think somebody who was around my size either passed away or moved into a retirement home or did a big clear out, and they got rid of all of their things, like a wedding dress and a fur coat. So I was originally thinking, like, this is probably old, right? Like, when were fur coats a big, huge thing that are amazing and had, it had custom embroidered initials on the inside. It's amazing. And it was also well cared for. Like, the fur is in good condition. It's not dried out. It was clearly stored properly. Like, the wedding dress has no stains on it. These things were kept carefully and then put into a thrift store, which is, like, for me, it was scary almost. Like, I saw the fur coat and I didn't even know what size it was. I just took it off the hanger. I was like, this is in a thrift store. This should not be in a thrift store. This thing it's either an antique or it will be, and it's made up of a whole bunch of animals. Like, I can't just let it become garbage. I couldn't. So I bought both of them. Anyway, the fur coat, someone commented on the video where I showed it, the last live stream, and they said that it looked like it was a mink coat with a fox collar and fox ruffle at the bottom. I don't know that because I found that little document inside. I was trying to search to see if I could find the company that made it, but it didn't have the company name on it. So I can't find anything for it yet. I haven't found the original manufacturer. My goal is to find out like what this coat really is and how old it is. Originally, I was thinking it was much older, but this wedding dress, because it had sort of a Victorian flair to it, I was like, this is old. But then it had a zipper, so I was trying to find out when zippers became like usually used, when zippers became like a regular thing for a hand sewer to use, like an at-home sewer, because this was sewn by someone for their wedding or by someone for someone else's wedding. I don't know who made it, but it's all sewn by hand. Like all of the lining was sewn in by hand, all of the lace work is sewn by hand, but the zipper and the side seams were sewn by machine. So I know there's machine sewing was available, and I also know the fabric is tulle, so it has to be new enough for that. It looks like this dress is from the 70s. It's called a Victorian prairie style. That's what it was, and apparently that Victorian prairie style was pretty big in the 70s. I thought the coat looked 70s, but totally a guess. Well, that would make sense because the wedding dress is 70s and they're the same size. So it makes sense that that person's like fancy wardrobe items, you know, like their wedding dress and their fur coat would be from the heyday, or at least that's what I imagine. Late 60s too. Okay. Local taxidermist might be able to help. That's not a bad idea. We have to go to the taxidermist to pick up CJ's skull. So maybe when we go to the taxidermist to pick up CJ, we will bring the fur coat and I will say, do you know anything about this? I'm sure he'll know what the fur is, but maybe you're right. Maybe he will have more information. Like maybe he'll know more about fur coats than I do. I'm sure he'll know more about fur coats than I do. You know, as a taxidermist, I wonder if he also does fur maintenance, because the person who recommended or who suggested that it was fox and mink. I also looked on the Hudson's Bay Company because they still sell fur there, and I was trying to compare the fur that they sell. Which I didn't know. Have you ever been on the Hudson's Bay Company website? They have a whole page dedicated to fur. Like, you can just buy fur from the Bay. When you go into the Bay store, it's like the same as Sears or like Macy's or JCPenney, you know, like those big stores at the end of each side of the mall. There's one of them. Well, the Bay, whenever you go in there, it's like a home store. But if you go on their website, it's still like a fur trading company, which is, I mean, it makes sense. It originally was like a fur trade. It was for trading furs. That's what it was for. But to me, it just seems bizarre that that's still, I mean, I don't know. To me, it seemed a little, I didn't know that was still a thing. And there were like a lot of furs. Like you could get like a full bear fur blanket. I was like, what are you doing? Ask them if they still sell muskets. You know what I mean? Helmet? Totally. Like, are you guys still selling, like, are you trading for tobacco still with your furs? So weird. I need a new one. I wonder, are muskets, like, if you have a musket, does it need to be registered like a regular firearm? These are things I don't know. Like, if your firearm is an antique and it doesn't work, do you still have to let the government know you have it? Probably in Canada you do. I feel like in Canada, if it holds like a firearm and it weighs like a firearm, it's a firearm. Probably if it's working. I don't know. I don't have one. Not my problem. Don't think I ever will. Although last night, hold on, Alex, Laura, I'm packing for our holiday with you in the background. Just wanted to let you know. Well, I hope that you don't forget anything because you're hearing me talk. I'm like the background noise. 1, 2, don't forget socks. As a meme on Instagram said, I pack for vacation like I'm going to poop my pants every single day. Like you pack like 8 pairs of underwear for a 3-day trip, just in case, I guess. I mean, as long as the furs are from animals that have been eaten and are simply being fully utilized, okay. But if anyone's still hunting and trapping for furs, what even? No, for sure it's that. It's definitely not all being utilized. The fur that they had were like fox and muskrat and sheared raccoon, which I was like, don't get me wrong, raccoons are like a beautiful animal, but like I don't know that I would be like, this is the one that we should make into something. I have about a billion things that shoot things. They're mostly World War II stuff, though. I'm more of a curator. I feel like I'm a curator of eclectic items. Eventually, I need to do the Swedish death cleaning. Because imagine if I died right now, the horror my poor family would have to go through. The amount, not because I died, like obviously that would be heartbreaking, but I mean like my stuff. I can't even imagine. Don't murder people for their skin, please. Thanks. Yeah, that'd be great. Don't murder anyone for their skin. That actually goes across the board. No one should ever be murdered for their skin, in metaphor terms and in literal terms. Good. Will you give Candace a big hug when you see her again, Laura? Absolutely, I will. No, I won't. It depends when I see her again. I said that so surely. It depends. If we're both fully vaccinated, then I will give her a hug when I see her. If not, then I will give her a visual hug. But I'm not even hugging my family. So I'm hugging my mom and my dad. Don't tell anyone. But they're both partially vaccinated. I'm partially vaccinated. We're both wearing masks. It's like there's a bit of a line. I don't hug my sister or my brother-in-law or my brother or my sister-in-law. So I will hug her when it is safe to do so. When the government tells me I'm allowed again, then I'll hug everybody. I'll hug you all. But yes, Nikki, I will greet warmly. That works. Thank you. I will provide hug energy. How about that? She is a lovely human, isn't she? That one in Sweden that no one in Sweden has heard of. We do it, but we didn't know it had a name. Well, I guess for you guys, it's just cleaning. For us, it's like Swedish people and their minimalism. Leaving nothing behind to haunt their descendants. How lovely. Here, it's more like family member passes away. Estate sale. That's what happens in this town anyway. It's like the thrift store gets filled and there are estate sales and auctions and stuff. Is anyone crazy tired this morning? I'm actually feeling really like alert and alive this morning. Really good. Because it's raining, which means I didn't have to water the garden last night. So Alex and I had a campfire last night. And obviously the raccoon showed up because, that's what he does every night. And I tried to scare him away. I yelled at him. I chased him. And then, guess again, I had to spray him with the hose. So he left after being sprayed with the hose. But I did get some footage of him. So you guys will see him in the next vlog. A fourth of my table is covered in rose petals. So I think I will actually be making that rose love soap idea I mentioned. Oh, Sid. Raccoons are brats. They are. They're cute though. It sucks because like even in the video I'm filming him and being like, you need to leave, and I'm laughing because I'm shining a light at him so he can't see me. He can only see the bright light. So he's behaving as though I'm not staring at him. You know what I mean? He can't tell that I'm literally watching him do his thing. And the raccoon was looking at me like this. Like, he was not moving. He was reaching for the chicken's grains. Like, whatever the chickens spill all over the floor, he cleans up before the morning. And I honestly wouldn't even mind at all if he didn't also bend our fence. This raccoon is a fatty. I can't emphasize this enough. This raccoon would make a lovely lapdog. It's just fat. Its little face is perfect, and then its little hands are perfect, and its body is just like a muffin. It's so cute. But he is heavy, so whenever he climbs up the wire fence, he bends it, like when he's climbing out. So if he would only use the wooden fence, I would have no issue. His chonk would not be a problem. He could eat all the grain. He could even drink the water because I refill it in the mornings. So I don't mind the fact that he exists because the coop is secure. So I don't worry about him breaking into the coop. He just wants the grain and to get out of there. But he uses the wrong entrance, and therefore he damages the fence every single night, which means Alex has to fix the fence every single morning, which I don't love. So we don't want him around. You can catch that raccoon. Drill a hole in a log, drive 2 blunt nails angled down into the hole, and put a ball of tinfoil in it. They'll grab the shiny, but making a fist won't let him pull his hand out. Oh no! I don't want to hurt him. Drill hole in log. Big hole, I guess. Drive 2 blunt nails angled down. ball of tinfoil in it. They'll grab the shiny, but making a fist won't let him pull his hand out. So he'll just keep standing there being... It won't hurt him, though. Better to get a have a heart trap. We have a one of... Well, it's not called a have a heart trap. Well, I don't know. It's an old trap. It's like a wire box. Like, it's shoebox shaped, but it's large. He can pull his hand out if he lets go. It won't hurt him. Oh, so it'll just make him angry and distract him. Stupid little raccoon. It probably would bother him all night. But we have one of those traps, but like, he doesn't live in our backyard. He comes from away. So if I catch him and release him, he doesn't live here. Like, Alex and I say, like, our backyard is like his cottage retreat. Like, he comes on garbage day. He doesn't live in our forest. He lives across the street diagonally in a different forest. He doesn't live here. So it's not like he's like, if I catch him and put him somewhere else, like, he's not even from here. I don't know what to do, because he's not like, he doesn't live in our trees. He doesn't live on the forest. He has to travel, like, a bit, because he tries to get through the garage to get to the chicken coop. So if Alex is in the garage, he has to go around the house. So he's coming from away. So yes, we could catch and release him. If he becomes a problem, we'll deal with it. Right now, it's more just like trying to harass him and deter him from being here. It's less about, like, I don't want to hurt him. I don't really want to relocate him yet. You know what I mean? Maybe you can get a hold of wildlife services. They might be able to trap him and take him out to the far out wilds. Yeah, if he does anything that makes me feel that he is a threat to my animals, then that will be the next step, Sid. Right now, he's not doing anything that threatens any of my pets. Like, he is a rabies vector, which is not good to have around, right? And he can carry mites and lice and ticks and fleas and worms and heartworm and rabies. We don't want any of those things in the yard. He's not currently interacting with any of my animals, though. He doesn't go anywhere near my chickens because they are closed in a metal coop that he can't get into. If he were ever to show signs of, like, digging to try and get into the coop or something, that'd be different. But right now, he's the only thing he's doing is, like, he's going to where food is literally spread on the floor. Like, he's not doing anything wrong. So if he changes his behavior to do anything wrong, then I'll change my behavior. But right now, currently, the only thing he's doing is not being scared of me. I'm not going to be interacting with him. I'm not becoming friendly to him. I won't be talking to him in a nice voice. Whenever I'm talking to him, it's in a "you're not welcome here" voice. Obviously, when I talk about him, like, I'm talking about it like I know it's a boy, and we should probably name him. Like, he's basically one of our backyard pets right now. If he could get vaccinated for rabies, that would be wonderful. If we could trap him and get him a rabies vaccine, that would be amazing. I don't think that's a thing. I think it's just like you kill raccoons or you drive them away. I don't think that they are. But they have hands and they have thumbs. And when they walk in the dirt, they leave little thumbprints. They're so cute. I'm missing Thunder and his big ears behind you. Where is he? Oh, he's right beside me. Thunder, it's not raining anymore. You don't have to hide. Go lie down. Go lie down. Thunder, go lie down. Go on. Go lie down. Go lie down. Go on. How about that? Better? He was just right beside me because it had been raining. All he has to do is let go of the tinfoil, but it's too tempting. It's like sticking your hand in a hole to grab a smartphone. You let go and you can leave, but you'll never get it. That's funny. Poor little raccoons. Can you tell he was sleeping? He's like, oh, I guess I'll just be... Oh, hey, Maddie. Good morning. Love your hair. Thank you. It's starting to grow. Mary Grace, my husky is getting a bath for the first time in a year and a half. Oh my God, your husky is going to probably leave a lot of hair in your bathtub. And also, oh my gosh, after you brush the hair out, it's going to look amazing. Better to have a heart trap. Well, again, if that comes up, we will deal when it's time. Okay, something else I wanted to tell you guys about, something exciting. Yesterday, I, for the vlog actually, so you'll see the actual process in the vlog, but I harvested so much of everything in the herb garden. I chopped the whole herb garden back, and now I have, well, It was organized, and now it's like a pile of herbs. And I need to figure out what to do with the sage, because I don't know. Yesterday I bundled up some and we put it in the fire, and it was amazing. I actually made like a really pretty fire. I can't wait for you guys to see in the vlog, because I made like a really. It looked a little bit midsummer vibe. If you've seen that movie, it was like a midsummer fire, if you could pick it. Okay, I have to go entertain my 4-year-old with tons of energy. Stay safe, everyone. You're all the best. Thank you for being you, Laura. Helmet, have a great rest of your day and enjoy your time with your kid. Bye. Thanks for coming. Mary Grace, she's going to get to the groomers because we don't have a great water pressure. I did brush her a bit yesterday, but I'm getting her a D-shed treatment. Oh my God, you're going to get a new dog back. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I like grooming dogs. Like my little sister's dog, we haircut him like a week ago, and it was so much fun. I like it because it's novel. It's not like my dog. It's like, look, we did a fun thing. Hold on. Quick question. Laura, how did you squeeze so much fabric out of that black floral? It was enough to do. I still have enough. I think I might do the pockets in that black floral. I feel like you gave me like a piece that was about that wide by about that long. And this is 2 pieces sewn together. And that's 2 pieces sewn together. It's not that much, like in size, if you think about it, right? I have possums. We have possums, Nikki, but they don't cause any problems. They eat the insects, and they're like resistant to rabies. They're like a really good friend to have in your backyard. Possums, and if you live in somewhere where hedgehogs live, hedgehogs. They're like a good friend for the backyard. Also, she won't let me trim her nails. Yep, give it to the groomer. Get her done. But it is fun to groom a dog. When it's a novel experience and you get to give the dog back and you don't have hair all over your own house, it's a lot of fun. When you do it in your own house for the first time, it's like not a lot of fun at all. You have any leftover fabric? You can create a quilt. Totally, Maddie. And I do have all of my leftover fabrics. The box isn't in this room. It's in another room. But I do have a box with little squares. If you find what to do with your sage, please let me know. Mine is growing that much that my rosemary is all shadowed. Well, see, that's what was happening is all of my plants were shadowing out my creeping mint. And if you've been watching my vlogs, my creeping mint is like the highlight of my summer for some reason. So I chopped all the herbs back like to nothing. To start again, essentially. I also pulled out all of the bindweed in the whole garden, which was amazing. By the way, if you showed up late, don't forget to like the video. Please click the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Possums are awesome, indeed. And hideous. I mean, there's 2 types of possums, or there's more than 2, but there's 2 that I know of. There's like a UK possum and a North America possum. UK possum, cute, little, fluffy, little teeths, little eyes. North America possum, terrifying. Totally terrifying. I don't think they're ugly per se because I like them, but they're very ugly. Like if you see our possums, they're like this big, like with a dog head and a big they're bigger. Our possums are bigger than our raccoons. I've seen other possums in the world, not in real life, but like on videos, and they don't look like our possums. Ours are very not attractive. I think they're great, but you know. Oh my God, what? Yeah, they come in adorable. They come in adorable and little. And like a shrew. They come in shrew flavor, I feel like. I have cats and they're big boys. Mary Grace says, my biggest is a muscly 20 pounds. I've seen a possum out here that's bigger than he is. We had a possum that, the possum that has been arriving in our backyard to eat some of the birdseed in the wintertime. He was a hefty dude. Like, if he was a problem, I wouldn't want to be the one that solved it, you know? Skater boy, not skateboard. Oh, what did I miss? When I used to have my Shih Tzu, I used to give him early 2000s skater boy haircuts, and he used to be so cute. My little sister has a Cocker Spaniel, an American Cocker Spaniel, if you know the difference. Personally, I prefer the English Cocker Spaniel, but the American Cocker Spaniels are very cute too. It's just the English Cocker Spaniels have more of like a Lady from Lady and the Tramp vibe, as opposed to the American ones, which have more of like a derpy vibe. Both are wonderful. But anyway, she has an American Cocker Spaniel, and we left the top of his hair long, and it was very cute. We ended up cutting it because it looked crazy, but still. Yeah, they eat our stray cat food. Yeah, totally. Possums will come for the cat food. I'm buying old bed sheets and sometimes new. I wash them in hot water and dry on semi-high heat to prep them for sewing projects. There you go. I just always wash sheets on high because I'm still on hot, sorry. Even though all the laundry stuff says you can do it on cold now, I just feel like I'll just do my sheets on hot, thanks. My sheets and towels. Let me go grab the wedding dress and then so I can show you what it looks like for those of you that didn't see it on Wednesday, because it's pretty magical. So this is not going to be my wedding dress. I just am wondering if there's anything I can do to it or anything I can use from it that would work. Like maybe the top half, if I could do something to like open the collar. It's really pretty though, but it's also, it doesn't look right on me. So it's like, I don't know. But anyway, this is the wedding dress. It has this lace collar thing, and then there's these appliques on the waist of little floral bits. It's pretty, and it's A-line, which is not what I'm going for. Like for my dress, I'm hoping to have like more 1950s flow so that when I turn like a circle skirt. So I was thinking if I could, what do you think if I like replaced the bottom? Because it looks like it was sewn pretty simply, like the actual dress pattern. It looks like I could pick out this and then just reattach a different skirt. Like I could include this top fabric with my actual skirt. But the bottom fabric, I don't like whatever it's made of. It's like plasticky. Like it has that, it's not plastic, but it has this feeling that I don't like. It's like a synthetic feel. So if I replaced that with like some really sheer layers of cotton or linen or something else, so you know, something else, then I can leave this floofy bit on top and it can be like a bigger, fancier thing. But you can see, like it has some volume, not a ton of volume, but it has a little bit. But the top is so lovely, and look at the back. Isn't that lovely? Anyway. Okay. Sid, yeah, that's the problem I'm having with it too, is I like think about it and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It was $10 at a thrift store. I can pull it apart and make it into my perfect wedding dress. But then there's the other side where it's like somebody else put it together. Somebody else put it together with a lot of love. And I don't know. So I haven't completely decided yet what I want to do. I might just end up fully making a new dress. But like for $10, I couldn't not buy it. That's pretty much where my brain was at. For $10, I couldn't not do it. If it would make you happy, I support it. I appreciate that. Claudia, I think it looks perfect the way it is. It's you. Well, it is perfect the way it is because it was made that way, but I don't know. Look up the carpenter. She has one similar she performed in. Well, I found actually a company, like an Etsy, that sells only one type of... Hearing that the skirt is an artificial fiber like makes me less hesitant. Yeah, no, if it was a fiber, like if it was an actual Victorian dress, I wouldn't be touching it. The 70s, yes, that's a long time ago, but it's not a long time ago. So I don't feel as bad about like destroying an heirloom from then. But also it would become an heirloom. Like I'm not going to get rid of my wedding dress, you know what I mean? So really it would just be continuing the life of that product or project. V, as far as the sage goes, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the sage. It wasn't V who asked. It was Mary Grace who was asking about the sage. I don't know what to do with it. I was just going to bind it up into bundles because, like, when I cook with sage, I cook with one leaf. And I have, like, bundles and bundles worth. Hey, Wilma, good morning. And do a couple of sketches of the dress itself and see how you can modify it that way. That's a good idea, V, just to see what could work with it. Hey, I'm not old, Laura. I was born in 78. Yeah, totally. No, but you know what I mean? Like if it was from the 50s, I would be like, okay, well now it's getting It's getting close to antique, like, or is the 50s already? 1950? No, it's not antique until 100 years, right? And you're maintaining all the hard work that went into the bodice. Exactly. The a benefit thing of the skirt is that part was all done by machine. The zipper and the skirt were just machine sewn, so I don't feel too much about it. Yeah, I asked if you could bundle it and sell bundles on your shop, or you can store it dried for use in the winter. Can you sell bundles? That seems kind of iffy. You know what I mean? Because there's like a whole cultural thing with the indigenous peoples with sage and burning sage. I don't know if it would be like appropriate. Like I feel like maybe you should if you're gonna buy sage bundles, maybe you should buy them from indigenous folks who are like, you know, the procurers of that I don't want to say trend, that not activity. You know what I'm trying to say? My goal is to always have more than enough sage to never have to buy them. Yeah, I would not want to have to buy them because growing them is quite easy, but you know what I mean? Yes, you can sell sage, just say a good blessing over it. Or I can say like, definitely not an indigenous person selling this sage. This sage is not in any way special sage. It is just my backyard sage. Please don't be mad at me. But I also wouldn't want to take business away from an indigenous person who's growing sage to make sage bundles, because like sage is like their thing. You know what I mean? Or at least culturally here, that's what I understand. I don't know if it's the same way in the States, but here, like the idea of sage bundles is kind of like it's an indigenous thing. It's not I guess it's becoming a witchy thing too, but like here it's more of an indigenous thing than it is a common thing. Sorry, there's so many herbs that I piled in different piles, and then I rolled all the piles together, and now I have a pile of just herbs, a huge pile of like, here. Oh, it smells so good though. Just miscellaneous herbs, you know. Good morning, Maya. It's the same here, I believe. I mean, our countries are like the same thing, right? It's always been a witch's cleansing tool. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I had a bunch of it on a little altar beside the fire last night, so that was nice. I was putting the fire together, and I spread out a whole bunch of flowers in the fire pit just because I was deadheading plants, and then I was like, I want to pick pretty flowers for the fire tonight. And so I did, and then I decided, I'll put some sage beside the fire. So I lit it up and then just put it beside the fire. It was really nice. But I picked a bunch of catnip, all the different flavors of thyme I have. Oh God, I literally was gonna go like this. Like, can you smell it? This is the mic. Yeah, sage and rosemary are big for cleansing broadly in paganism. I mean, they do smell really good when burned, so it makes sense that they would like cleanse out the bad, you know? And popes use it as well, just saying historically it's a cleanser. Okay, good to know. So there isn't as much that I would need to worry about culturally. I think I'll still look it up. Like, I think I'll still do a quick Google, make sure that I don't upset any groups if I were to sell it. But even if I don't sell it as a thing, I can bundle it up for sure, and I can have it be one of my things in my going away gift things. Like, I have a space in my home for handmade things to give away, like jam, and now there will be herbs. Candace, when you come here next, if I am distracted and awkward and forget about giving you one of my jam things, dried things, please tell me, because I literally have a section in my home for people have stopped by. Like when the plumber comes over, I send him home with eggs. Like I like to send people away with things, and if I get uncomfortable or awkward, sometimes I forget. So, yeah. Indigenous peoples don't tend to grow it to sell. They harvest wild, so it's super not okay to appropriate wild sage. That's why I grow all my own. Okay, so if you're not indigenous, don't go foraging for sage. Done. I never did. I didn't know that sage was wild here. I mean, I knew, but I don't know what it looks like wild. I know what it looks like cultivated. But I picked a whole bunch of catnip yesterday. I cleaned the entire herb garden, so the herb garden looks amazing. And I forgot to tell you last time we were together, I absolutely adore your giving. Aw, Nikki, thank you. I want to make it a thing that is always a thing for me, because it feels nice when I make things. Like, I like to make things because it makes me feel nice, and I put my love into the things. So being able to give somebody a jam, like, sure, they'll use a jam, but like for me, I gave them a little love. Like, there's my love, please enjoy. Oh, also, Alex and I tried the rose jam from last week, and it actually so floral and rosy. I was kind of nervous that the apple cider vinegar was going to take away from it. I put apple cider vinegar in this jam recipe. It was really good. Very floral, very rosy. We do a taste test on the next vlog, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, we did this fire last night. We had a campfire because I wanted to see the raccoon, so I wanted to stay up late enough for him to come out. And when I was setting up the fire, I put all these flowers all through the fire pit and built up a little thing, and it was so pretty. Did I take a picture of it? Yeah, I think I did actually. I'll be returning to Colorado for a month. Ooh, that's awesome. I'll have a tremendous abundance of white sage to collect. That's wonderful. Colorado. El Dorado. Let me just find the picture so I can show it to you because it was really pretty. And I had like a really good time. Anyway, I decorated the fire pit basically and enjoyed doing it. And then I burned sage while we were having our little campfire. So that's our little fire pit. Sorry that it's like over bright, but you'll see it in the vlog. It's pretty. So that was nice. It just felt nice. I don't know why. When I was picking flowers, I was like, I think that these flowers should be burned. And Alex was like, okay. And then I was like, don't you think? And he was like, definitely. And I was like, good. Glad we're on the same page. I did also pick a little bouquet for you guys last night while we were doing the garden tour. I picked the cosmos because I knew it was going to rain today and all these were going to get knocked off the flower anyway. But look at all of our cosmos now. I said to Alex as I was picking it, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pick my wedding bouquet. And he was like, on the day of. And I was like, yeah, like for real. How's Miss Peekaboo? She's doing wonderful, Mary Grace. She has been sneaking into our bedroom at night. But if you acknowledge it, she has to leave. So you can't acknowledge that she's been sneaking into the bedroom. But she has been. So she's thinking about friendship, which is great. She is just come out of another heat, so that's good. The yowling is over. And hopefully before her next heat, she will be spayed. That's my hope and goal. Still waiting on the vet to hear back from. I don't know what's going on here because we're open for business now. And I had her booked for a... Oh, bye, Nikki. Have a wonderful weekend as well. I hope that you're feeling better, and I hope that you have a really good, restful, wonderful weekend. But for Peekaboo, yeah, she was supposed to be spayed a million years ago, and then the lockdown intensified here, and they canceled all of the booked appointments for spays and neuters. I had her scheduled as part of a like a high volume, low cost spay and neuter clinic through one of the SPCA Humane Society, one of them. I had her signed up for that. They canceled that. So then we went to the vet that we were going to for CJ, scheduled her in, and then they canceled all of the appointments because of lockdown, and they were rebooking the appointments. So they said, you've been approved to reapply to get on a wait list to get your cat spayed. So I did and hadn't heard back. So then we found a new vet that's just down the street. We took Peekaboo and Thunder there for their shots this year. Honestly, I just want to have a vet. I just want one vet that knows my animals. Like when I was a kid, our vet was our vet who knew our pets, who would I don't know. I feel like Thunder has had like 8 different vets, and I just want him to have a vet that like knows him really well. Anyway, the new vet was fine. I didn't get to meet them really. I just met the tech because it's COVID times. But the vet for Peekaboo's spay, they are like waiting. They said they'll call me when they have an appointment. So the last time I spoke to anyone about Peekaboo was like a week and a half ago. Maybe it's 2 weeks now. But I'm still waiting, basically. But she's out of her heat, which is good. And she's not trying to get out of the house, which is good. She will be spayed. They know she needs to be spayed. The vet knows. So, I don't know. You could make duck with some sage. I know you like duck. Ooh, is sage a good duck flavoring? Because I really like duck. I would like if duck came off the bone easier. I find like when I've cooked duck, when I cook chicken, I can like clean the carcass off really clean to make a soup bone carcass. With duck, I feel like there's a lot more meat stuck to it, and the meat is more like tight to the bone. It tastes delicious. I would love if somebody just prepared boneless, skinless duck for me. Not skinless, just boneless. I love chicken skin and duck skin. Delicious. Gotta go. Bye, everyone. Bye, Beth. Have a good rest of your day. So, what I was trying to get to when I was talking about the herb garden, though, was I also went to my mom and dad's house on like Monday, and my mom said, take some comfrey. So she got comfrey as a cutting from a friend. It doesn't grow here like casually. Like, I don't think you can just find it around. It's not on my parents' farm at all wild, and it's not on our backyard or in my forest wild at all. So if it is in Ontario, it's not here. But my mom got some from a friend, and she started growing it, and it took off. Like, it really grows well here, which makes me think that it's also not from here, because it would be growing. If the way how well it grows here, it would be already here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it grows very robustly, so much so that it's comparative to like burdock. If you see burdock growing, or if you see, I don't know, it's a pretty big plant. Anyway, I was like, is that comfrey, Mom? And she said, it is comfrey. You know, it can be used as a salve. And I was like, Mom, you know it can be used as a salve. I love you. So then she said, dig some up and take some home. So I planted some in my yard in the herb garden, because I want like my medicinal space to be nice. I don't know. Good morning, Sarah. So I planted some comfrey in my herb garden. So now in my herb garden, I have, I also found out that my basil, one of my purple basils is not basil, it's shisho. I don't know if you know what shisho is, because I don't. Another name online for it was, I think I wrote down a couple of them. Shisho or perilla or peria. It's double L, so I don't know if it's probably perilla. Peria? Do you know? I've been missing y'all, been sick. I'm glad you're back, Laura. Sorry you've been sick, but welcome back. But anyway, the basil that I thought was basil is sometimes called Chinese basil, but it's also called shisho. Yeah, shisho or perilla. Anyway, now I know how many basils I have. I have sweet basil, Thai basil, lettuce leaf basil, purple basil, spicy globe basil, cinnamon basil, and Chinese basil. So I think I have a lot of basil. I thought it looked weird, but there's so many different basils. I didn't actually question it. Well, I was just trying to find out what basil it is so that I could label it, because I've been enjoying having these little stick labels Candace gave me. I've been labeling my plants. So I was wanting to label it because it looks different than what's around it. So I wanted it to be identifiable. But it isn't a mint. It is a mint, but like the common name is like Chinese mint, which it's not though. It's shisho. It's like not used how mint is used. It's used more like, from what I saw, like a grape leaf, like it's used as a leaf. That's what I saw on recipes online anyway. To be fair, I have no idea what I'm talking about, so who knows. I have a whole Millicent in my lap demanding belly rubs. Oh, a little derpy dog. By the way, I'm gonna just do this while we're hanging out, because I need to have my ankle braces on this week. My ankles are very not cool with being upright for some reason this week. My ankles, if I don't wear my braces, my ankles have been swelling really bad, like to the point where like the top of my foot looks like the people in WALL-E, you know, like the fat upper foot thing, which is not ideal, because that means there's like fluid in my foot that I don't know why. So my ankles are not having a fun week. So I've been wearing my brace every day on both feet, looking like I'm wearing skates. That's good news. That's what learning is for. Yeah, learning is great. Oh, the good news is that's used a lot in Asian cooking. It looks tasty. Yeah, it totally looks tasty. And it's so pretty. My mom got it from her friend who is from China, and she said, here, it's a Chinese herb. And my mom said, okay, and started growing it. Like, she gave her seeds, and then my mom was like, okay, cool, I'll grow it. Started growing it, and she was like, is this some kind of basil? And then she told me, like, when she gave it to me, she was like, some kind of interesting basil. Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
Appreciate. I love you.
Yeah.
Have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye. Alex stayed up really late. He's been staying up really late this week. Like, he'll go to sleep with me at 10 o'clock, and then he'll wake up at like midnight and stay up until 5, and then lie down with me from 5 until 6, and then we get up, and then he's a miserable zombie until 2 o'clock, and then work is almost over. He gets his energy back, and then, yeah, it's basically a cycle where he has not yet realized that he's an old man. So he thinks that he can do like university level all-nighters. And I am 100% supportive of him trying, because, I mean, you can't redo your schedule overnight, right? You gotta like work it up. So I think he's in the process of trying to become a night owl again. So anyway, anybody else have like ankles that don't want to be ankles? Because my ankles don't want to be ankles. Let me see. I'll turn it up. Am I louder now from farther away? I turned it up because I realized I'm far away from the mic. Sorry. There we go. I've also been wearing my, wow, quality, my structured shoes, which has been, I don't even know if it's helping. It's not ideal. I really do not wish ankle illness on anyone. It's not illness, but you know what I mean? Like ankle, it's not a deformation. It's just weak. My ankles are literally just weak and damaged from years of abuse and years of being injured and not going to the doctor. If you have injured ankles, my friends, freaking go to the doctor, because it'll never heal right. And then you'll go to a doctor and they'll be like, yeah, you have really bad tendinitis. It looks like your tendon is torn. What do you mean it looks like my tendon is torn? Well, the swelling here indicates that your tendon has relocated. I had a tendon that had partially disconnected, not enough to need surgery, of course, but enough that my part of my tendon was like up in my knee, the one that was supposed to be in your ankle. So it had healed to the point where it was no longer surgically intervenable, and it wouldn't have been worth it to, because the tendon, like when you tear your ankle tendon, they sew it back down and it's tight because it's like an elastic band that had snapped, but mine was in my knee and it was supposed to be connected to my ankle. There was no possibility of stretching it down. So they just gave me a whole lot of anti-inflammatories, braces, and the recommendation to wear good shoes. Thank you. Hey there, Granny D. Good morning. I have an ankle that had an argument with a motorcycle many years ago. It's not been the same since. Yeah, I have an ankle that had an argument with a hole in the ground. I have an ankle that had an argument with a mosh pit at a Billy Talent concert. Don't go into a mosh pit, kids, if you're wearing flip-flops. I would like to just make a PSA. This is a public service announcement. If you are going to mosh in a mosh pit, which for those of you who don't know what a mosh pit is, it's essentially somewhere where you intentionally get pushed around while it's not even dancing. It's like you're jumping around in a tightly packed crowd of people, and if someone gets close to you, you lean into them with your shoulder and you push them away. It's like you beat up people and you get beaten up without using your hands. Like, you're not supposed to use your hands in a mosh pit. But everything else is pretty much game. You don't kick or punch, but you do wound many people and you get wounded. It's like a very bizarre thing. It's whatever. It's something that we used to do. And we went into a mosh pit wearing flip-flops, a Billy Talent concert mosh pit, which was all like 35-year-old men moshing, much larger than me. So Alex is in there trying to protect me from being destroyed, obviously, because at the time I was also itty-bitty. And so Alex, the whole concert, was standing like this with his legs shoulder width apart, and I was in this space. So I didn't go out with any bruises on me, but I did come out with completely destroyed feet. My feet, when we left, I couldn't find my shoes, first of all. We weren't drinking. I should also say, we were not intoxicated. We didn't drink. I don't typically drink, and I was younger anyway, so I wasn't drinking, but we don't drink. So, and we weren't smoking pot because we were in public. Like, that's scary. I would never go to oh my God, I can't even imagine smoking pot and going to a concert. But So we were totally sober, and I came out with no shoes, and my feet were black, and I thought it was like dirt. So I went home, cleaned my feet off, went to bed, woke up, feet still black. Go to scrub them, fully bruised. Like my toes, between my toes, you know, like if you wear flip-flops all day, how the spot between your big toe and your second toe gets like dirty, like there's like a dirt there. It was bruised. I thought it was dirty. Like I was doing like between my toes. It was just all bruised. So note to self, no flip-flops if you're moshing. Ew, moshing with 35-year-old men. Yeah. But that's who's at a Blink-182 concert or at a Billy Talent concert. Why do I get those two mixed up in name? They are nothing alike in concert, and they are nothing alike in music. But anyway, that happened, and now my ankles are permanently damaged. I thought my feet were really in a lot of pain because I hurt them. Like I thought, oh, I have my feet crushed and bruised. Of course they hurt. So I didn't go to a doctor because in my head I was like, it's not like, oh, it hurts, I don't know why, I'll go to the doctor. I was like, well, I injured myself, so I need to heal the injury before I determine if I need a doctor. That's how my brain worked at the time. And so I was tending to it, blah, blah, blah. And it was like 6 months later, I had gotten into so much pain that Alex would carry me downstairs. Like, if I was going upstairs, I would do one stair at a time, like one stair up and like wait. It was not a good walk, and I couldn't walk downstairs. The way that my foot had to go in order to absorb my weight on a stair, I would just my ankle would just like dissolve, and I could have fallen downstairs. So Alex would help me downstairs, and it was at that point that I went to the doctor, and they were like, "You're in Canada, Laura. What are you doing?" And then my doctor at that point gave me anti-inflammatories. I did ultrasounds on my knee and on my ankles, and I have damage now, which is great. So now I have like permanent tendonitis. I never had that as an issue. Whereas now if I walk too long, if I wear boots that are too heavy, that require my ankle to somehow brace in a way they weren't thinking of, then I get a really bad flare-up of tendonitis, which makes my ankle swell. And it hurts. It hurts to put pressure on your feet. It hurts to touch your skin. It feels like you have a really bad bruise, a really bad sunburn, and like a rash. It's like a very uncomfortable feeling. So stupid. And now my ankles are perma weak. Like if I'm walking, my ankles don't brace when they are supposed to. So if I go on an unsteady surface, my ankles like collapse. It was not intelligent. I should have gone to a doctor right away, and I didn't. And now I'll probably need something medical intervention by the time I'm an old person. So go to the doctor when you're wounded. If you live in Canada, go to the doctor like the day you're wounded. I have weak ankles, so I twist them a lot. I got a balance plate, and I put it so I can use it when I brush my teeth. So I do it every day. Oh, smart. A balance plate. I wonder if that would help me. Because, like, my ankles are not there for me. Rebecca, good morning. Nice to see you this morning. Glad you're here. So now in my herb garden, I have comfrey. Do you want to hear all the things I have in my herb garden? I planted a coffee plant out there. Did I tell you guys? I'm so sorry you have to live with that. It's something most take for granted. Well, that's the bummer about it, is it's like, how do you complain about your ankles, like, as your main problem? Like, my ankles hurt all the time, and sometimes it hurts a lot that I need to wear braces, and sometimes it hurts so that I can't come because I can't walk there. I can walk, I can hike, but if I'm having a flare-up, I can't walk to the chicken coop without being in quite a lot of pain. But yeah, not ideal. I would just say, if your kid hurts their ankle at a young age, you go get that checked out. Because my ankles were perfectly fine until I was an adult, hurt them, and didn't get them treated. Do ankle braces help? Yes, they're pretty much like a needed thing. If I'm going to I don't really go to the grocery store anymore, because now you can get your groceries like not delivered, but pick up, like where you order it and then you just have them put it in your car. Love that. Well, they are the base of you. They take a lot of damage. Right. They're literally very important. If you are someone who walks and enjoys the ability to walk, like, your ankles are super important and full of very little finicky bones that don't want to be moved around. Anyway, not ideal. The braces help. I have 2 different styles of braces. This one has metal along the sides, and it has, so it's like a skate, and then there's these Velcros that hold everything in place. Like I can't, that's my range of motion. I can't turn it. This is the whole range of motion of my ankle now, which is good, because when I have a full range of motion, my ankle, I have a very high range of motion on my joints, and it's not good. And then this one is a little less severe. It's like a little bit more of a casual one. Both of them are good for what I need them for. Hey there, Melanie. So, yeah, chronic pain. Wonderful. Love it. Great. Chronic pain is great. Add in the wrists. I used to jog and can't do that anymore. It was my happy place. That's why I don't jog, Laura. It's the ankles. It's my ankles. I would totally be a jogger. I wouldn't. I hate breathing hard. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to, like, be a healthy person. The most I'm willing to, like, physical labor for enjoyment is in the garden. So maybe someday I'll remember how much working out is fun, but I'm not there right now. You completed it with the coffee plant. Louisa, I put it in the vlog too. I said, look, there we go. I did it. So I planted my coffee plant outside in the herb garden. So now in the herb garden, I have comfrey, coffee, mint. The mints that I have are a lot. Parsley, catnip, rosemary, summer savory, basil, all the kinds of basil. And then chamomile, aloe, citronella. I also planted a ficus in there. Anyway, I walk, not willingly, but necessarily, and it's more fun with Millicent and music. Well, I like walking. I like being able to walk. I don't want that to be taken away from me, especially not if everything works except my ankles. That would really bother me. Like, if I was unable to walk because I was unable to walk, that's one thing, but being, like, limited because of just a small part of my leg is frustrating. You completed it with the coffee plant, definitely. You have my online grandma's garden. Well, you're going to see a really pretty tour of it now because I cleaned out the herb garden, and it looks really good, I think. No, exactly. I don't want to find one day that it's too hard. Exactly. I don't want that. I don't want to find that when the pain is really bad, I don't want that to ever be the way that it is, because right now it like fluctuates. Like at this exact moment, I'm probably at like a 3 in pain. Like it hurts, but it's not going to make me make a face. It's not going to make me not go about my day. But I probably wouldn't go for a hike today. You know what I mean? Because I know that if I went for a hike today, tomorrow the pain will be at like an 8, and then it will be uncomfortable to do things. But yeah. But after you've jogged for a while, you don't breathe hard. You hit your stride and just go. It's meditation. Yeah, like I know that had to have been a thing that I was involved in at some point in my life, because I was on a rowing team. Like I had to run for 30 minutes every morning, 7 days a week, just to warm up for our rowing practice. And if it was raining and we couldn't get into the water because it was choppy, that was an hour. So like I know I was able to run at one point. I just don't think that that's something that I care to do currently. Yeah, you should see about getting PT exercises to strengthen the area. Honestly, I just need muscles all around my ankles to fix it. Missy, when my sister and her husband turned 40, they started jogging. When Ola and I turned 40, we each got an instrument. Yeah, I think that's more likely. Alex is going to like learn, what? Alex? Yeah. What were you going to learn again? Are you going to learn Mandarin or Japanese? Mandarin, okay. Alex said he wants to start learning Mandarin when he turns 40. And I think that's a great idea. I think I won't learn it with him. And then he can just know, no, I'll probably learn it with him so that we can be goofy. Anyway, Ola plays the piano, I play the recorder. That's fun though. So, comfrey, you guys are gonna have to tell me what to do with comfrey because I have that now. Get ankle braces. Dawn, I do have ankle braces and I wear them most days. I don't wear them every single day because some days my feet are very swollen and they don't want to wear anything. And some days my feet don't hurt at all and I forget. But on a day when I have at least a level 2 of pain, I'm wearing my braces. And I wear them until a day where I wake up and it doesn't hurt. So when it doesn't hurt, then I'll take them off. But For now it hurts. Here we are. But I mean, like, I also can't stop doing the things that are making it hurt, because it's what makes it hurt is me like bending over and like squatting down in the garden. That like your foot going from this to like, you know, when you squat down, your ankle is like, anyway. On swollen days, can you do the legs up on the wall yoga pose to help with the swelling? Yes. So Alex actually bought me three things, a couple of weeks ago. He came home and he was like, I got ankle stuff for you. He got me is it here? No, that's my sunscreen. He got me it's a Gold Bond foot cream for sore ankles. And I think it's just like a menthol cream, you know, like Vicks vape. Oh, it's highly concentrated menthol. So it's like 60? Oh, 16. Okay, so normal A535 rub is 2% menthol. This is 16% menthol. So I put that on my ankles in the evening. He also let me show you this really cool thing he got me. He's a very sweet man, and he doesn't want me to be in pain. So he got me a couple of these things. And basically it's like an icy pack, but it's full of like gel balls, so it's not too cold even though it's frozen, and it wraps all the way around your ankle. So in the evening I can put that. He puts it on my feet, my cream, because he is my king. He puts the cream on my feet, and then I put these on my ankles, and then I lift my feet up and do the raising of my feet. He picked me up like Orbeez, totally Louisa, but frozen Orbeez. But he also picked up arch supports. So now all my shoes have arch supports in them. I have soft ice pack that goes on in the evenings, and I have this foot cream that is menthol that helps with pain. So that's what I'm doing currently to tend to it. I'm not at the point where I'm taking anti-inflammatories right now because the pain hasn't extended up my calf. It's currently just in my ankle, which is like optimal. If the pain is just in my ankle, I know I'm pretty okay. If the pain is getting up to my knee, that's when I need to like go get anti-inflammatories to help kick that down. You can use comfry on a sore throat. Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. Aw, right, Sid? He's a nice guy. I was going to say good soft ice pack is a lifesaver for swelling. And since they're not like frozen, it doesn't hurt. You know, like when you put something cold, it hurts. It doesn't hurt. Everyone should be able to find someone as loving to them as Alex is to you. I really hope so, because Alex, the way that he loves me is exactly how I need to be loved, and the way that I love him is exactly how he needs to be loved. You just need to find someone who you guys can jive with, because honestly, he is my best friend. And he did that, like, he was just going to pick up our prescriptions at the pharmacy, and he was like, look, I found these things for you. I thought they would make you happy. Like, he's just a nice person. Have you thought of selling chamomile tea? That's a great idea. A great idea. There's so much chamomile in my yard, Dawn. Chamomile tea would be a good idea. And probably easy to sell because it's like organic and local and beautiful. Comfrey might be harmful to the liver, so don't eat it. Thank you very much, Laura. I didn't know that. You can use it on a sore throat. How? Literally, like on a sore throat, like a leaf? Or is it like, I don't know how to use it yet. At 55, trying to date is crazy. Yes, I imagine, Dawn. I imagine. Today, eating or taking any form of comfrey by mouth isn't recommended. It's considered unsafe due to the pyrrolizidine alkaloids that comfrey contains. They are dangerous chemicals that can cause cancer. Oh, very good. Severe liver damage. Lovely. And even death when consumed. Thank you. I use it for fertilizer and mulch. It's a nitrogen fixer. That's what my mom said, is that when it gets big, chop the leaves and you can just put it right back on the dirt and it'll break down on its own. So that's what my plan was, to just do that. And also for salves, because I heard it can be used for salves, like on burns or on if you get like a poison ivy or something. Comfrey only in topical preparations. Thank you, Sid. Confirmed. So, but I have it now. The point is that I have comfry now, which makes me feel some kind of way. Also, what else started growing fantastically? There's something else that grew fantastically. I can't remember. Well, I did harvest all of the kale as well yesterday for the chickens, gave them a whole lot of it. I made potato salad last night, but then Alex brought home dinner for us, so I have potato salad for today, which is exciting. You don't ever eat it. Liver damage, bad. Yes, liver damage, bad. Plus, there's so many other things that are already damaging my liver, like my antidepressants, bad for your liver. Any birth control, I'm not on birth control, I have an IUD, but I mean, birth control, bad for your liver. Pretty much, if your liver is working, it's bad, right? Like if your liver is working on something, it's bad. It's supposed to be working on food things. If it's digesting alcohol, bad. If it's digesting pills, bad. Not saying that alcohol and pills are bad. Maybe you need one or both of those, but you know what I mean. Nitrogen fixers are great to have a list for garden rotations. If eggs sell for $6, your organic chamomile tea. Yeah, well, true. So we do $6 only if people buy 1 dozen, which never happens. So it's $5 a dozen. For some reason, when people come here, they're coming from afar, Dawn. There's nobody who's coming from anywhere nearby. They come from like Toronto or Niagara Falls. Like they come from a drive. So make a decoration and use it as a gargle. Oh, a decoction. I was like, oh, you wear it like a choker then. A gargle. Got it. So we sell our eggs they end up being $5 a dozen because people buy like 4 dozen at a time. So totally a good idea though. I like the idea of selling the kale because we're going to have an abundance of kale very soon. Currently, I have been managing the abundance by feeding it to our chickens. They love it, but there will be a point at which it is too much. I know that because it's like right now the plants are small and we have more than enough. So I think the kale idea was a good one. I think the chamomile idea is a great one. The herb garden is going to be very giving this year. So doing some teas might be a really nice idea. I have to find a way to package it though. Thunder? Why? Why are you licking your paws? Do you have anxiety because of this thunderstorm? There's thunderstorms today. Use the root in the decoction, not the leaves. I just knew the name comfrey was something that people use medicinally. And when my mom said she had it, I was like, I've heard that. I want some. So it's growing in my herb garden. That's where we're at, okay? Oh, I also, I staked all of my tomatoes. So Alex put in in T-posts. He put in 7-foot tall T-posts. Jealous. We need more rain again. Well, we're supposed to get rain on and off for like a week now. Hopefully that happens. It probably won't because whenever they say that, the following day you check the forecast and then it's like no rain again. So we'll see what actually happens. But since we're getting the rain, I'm going to be transplanting some more stuff today because things like to be transplanted when it's damp outside. But our tomatoes are all staked now. Alex and I picked up more 7-foot long T-posts from Home Depot. They were on sale. So now I have 2 tomato plants for every 1 T-post. They're about 5 feet tall because we shoved them about 2 feet into the ground. And I have 2 tomato plants per T-post, and I have 11 T-posts. So I have 22 tomato plants, I think. Which is a lot of tomato plants for 2 people. So I'm going to have a lot of extra tomatoes. So if you live in the general Niagara, Ontario region, let me know if you want some tomatoes. Because I've got a lot of them, or not yet, but I will. And a lot of different kinds. So now my tomatoes are almost all in one garden in a row, which is really nice. I actually have tomatoes in every garden, but like it's organized better. Could you not, Thunder, when you lick your toes, your paws get stained red? They stain red and it's not good. He's like, I don't understand what you're upset about. I shared a video about making tomato sauce in the Discord. Ooh. A video about making tomato sauce. Will Laura watch it? Maybe. Oh, look at your little possum. Yeah, Nikki, that's our kind of possum, the little ugly kind. I feel like in the UK they have cuter ones. Oh, it's with Living Traditions Homestead. I like them. They're a little fun family, ain't they? I think they're cute. Anyway, I'll watch it. I don't think I'll take much of the advice, but I will watch it. The reason I say that is because my mom has made tomato sauce every single year since I was like born. So I don't think I'm allowed. I think that like I think it would be not good if I took other people's advice with tomato sauce, because then it won't be my mom's tomato sauce, and that's kind of something important I need to learn how to make because it's kind of the best sauce in the whole world. Learn to can your own tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce. Yeah, so my mom does a generic sauce that is basically tomato sauce. She does ones that have like garlic and herbs and stuff in them, but she has like a generic sauce that is slightly watery, like in comparison to like a thick tomato sauce you might buy in a can at a store. It's a little bit watery, but it's not like floating separate from water. It's like suspended, but it's watery in terms of a tomato sauce for what you might buy. Bright, beautiful, bright red sauce, and it's amazing. She puts very little stuff in it, and reason for that is that then you can use it however you want. If you want to make a pizza sauce, you put it in a pan and simmer it down a little bit. If you want to make a tomato sauce, you add garlic and whatever, you know? It's just much more entry-level sauce, but it is the best, and she does her thing, and I have to do it that way, right? Then you can thicken it up as needed or use it depending on your recipe. Yeah, and also it can be added to other things really easily when it's not too flavored. Like if you've made it flavored like your favorite spaghetti, then it's weird to add it into a taco recipe or whatever. It's just nice when it's like neutral flavored. But she also makes her own pesto. So when she does like her actual tomato flavored sauces, she does like pesto and tomato sauce. Is very good. The younger two kids and I watched the Lion King movie at the park last night. That's awesome. Got home after 11 p.m., way past my bedtime. That's super past my bedtime, 11. Although last night I went to bed at 11 because the sun only goes down at like 9 something and we had a campfire. The freezer trick for skinning tomatoes is awesome though. Yes, my mom's done that before where she just does the X in the bottom and freezes it. Usually what my mom does though is she'll blanch them. What does she do? No, she cuts an X in the bottom, puts them into a freezer bag, freezes them flat so that they're one layer thick. Yes, there is a fly in this room in case you were wondering. Freezes them flat. And then when it's time to use them, she'll blanch them so they get dropped in boiling water for like a minute or half a minute, pulled out, and then the skins come right off. And then she does the whole tomato witchcraft magic thing. Yeah, go have a canning day with your mom. Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do is like a full... What might be a good thing is for my wedding, the family will be down, like to visit. So maybe we'll do a canning day like the day or after the wedding or 2 days after the wedding or 3 days after the wedding or 2 days before the wedding, something like that. Something where when the whole family's together, we can do it. I really hope, apparently we're in a hot spot now again, our region. It's like Toronto and everything south. We're not in Toronto, but like we're close enough that we're considered in a hot spot from what I understand. And they are bumping up the second dose of your vaccine to let it be sooner if you're in a hot spot. And since we're in a hot spot, it's something the alpha variant or the delta variant, they're one of the variants that's, which one? The delta variant is like bad here. It's doing bad. And apparently most of the people who we have in our area in the ICU are unvaccinated people. So that's good to know that there are very few vaccinated people getting hospitalized for COVID.
No, I think it's the other way around. There are vaccinated.
No, it said on the news this morning, most of the people that we have in the ICU are completely unvaccinated. People who are getting sick are partially vaccinated, but people who are getting in the ICU are not vaccinated at all. So even if you're like, oh, will the vaccine even work? If it doesn't prevent you from getting it, it's going to prevent you from dying from it. So anyway, sorry, I can get so ragey about vaccine talk. I don't mean to. It's just, when people say like, I'm scared to get it. I'm like, are you not scared of all the other things being caused by not getting it? Like, okay, you're scared of like a blood clot. You're scared of it tracking you. You're scared of it sterilizing you. You're scared of it killing you. You're like, what? Like, the amount of, what? Ugh. I just don't even have the right words for it, because in my head, I'm like, I want to say, like, where did you get your information, though? Like, oh, I saw it on Facebook, but it was a reputable person on Facebook. Okay, but, like, Facebook is not the source of news. And at the same time, like, I just don't, it worries me that people are scared to get a safe vaccine because someone else on the internet said, don't do it. I don't like that, because that's not fair to the person who's now scared to get it, because they were reading misinformation that made them afraid to do something. I understand if you believe that it's going to sterilize you and cause cancer, I wouldn't want to do it either. I don't believe that. I don't believe that the government is using this vaccine to do anything to us. I think that a global pandemic happened and they really needed to get it out fast. So all the scientists in the world worked on the same thing. And that's why it got done fast. People are being like, they must have cut corners. No, they just didn't have other people working on like heart and stroke stuff this year, you know? So it's just like, pardon me? That's why everything got pushed back. Exactly. That's why there were no elective things. That's why things weren't happening. It just stresses me out, because it's like, I was at the grocery store and my cashier said, I'm scared to get it. I won't be getting the vaccine. And I was like, you're literally interacting with the public every day. You're at risk every day. And this woman was in her 60s. And I was like, if they're sterilizing us, who cares? You're in your 60s. If they're tracking us, who cares? You're on your iPhone right now. Like, she showed me a picture of her cat. Like, you're on your phone. So it scares me for other people who are misinformed. I'm not talking about the people who want to argue with you about it, like who want to be like, no, it's gonna, the aliens. I don't mean them. I mean people who are regular people who are like, I'm scared to do this because people have said things that it's gonna do to me. I just don't like that. It makes me afraid. It makes me afraid for our whole system, because now that person's at risk, and they're at risk because of incorrect information. And like, it's like the whole autism thing. Vaccines don't cause autism. Autism was gonna be there. It was already gonna be there. Your kid already had autism before any vaccine happened. Your kid was inside your tummy with autism. It's in the brain. It's always was gonna be there. It doesn't show up. It was already there. The tracker thing makes me go crazy. I think that's just a buzzword, if I can be honest. I think the tracker thing is just to make us yell louder as people who don't agree, because like when people say like they're scared of it doing something to their body that is health related, that I can like understand where that fear comes. But the tracking thing, I feel like that was just a buzzword so that would be what we would focus on and be like, really, you're holding your iPhones? But then we're not arguing with the actual issue, which is like, scientists are not interested in hurting people. All this talk about vaccines gives me anxiety. It gives me anxiety too, but it also is something I think is really important to like be comfortable talking about, because it's something that we need to like just suck it up and go do it. Like, if you can't be vaccinated because you're on chemo, okay. If you can't be vaccinated because a religious reason, I don't think that's okay. I don't think that counts. I don't think a religious reason is a valid reason to not get health things. It's like how Jehovah's Witnesses can't get blood transfusions so their kids die from anemia. Like, no. If you need a blood transfusion, you should get a blood transfusion. Anyway, what did you miss? You missed me starting to talk about getting vaccinated. So please get vaccinated. If you are not yet vaccinated, please think about it. I'm not trying to be someone who's pushing the government on you. I don't care. It wasn't, the one that I got wasn't even made by my government. Look outside of where you're looking right now for your information. If you're watching me and you're an anti-vaxxer, first of all, I don't hate you. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm passive aggressive against you. It's not you. It's the idea. It's the idea of you. It's not you specifically. It's the idea that information can literally convince people of not science. It's like, obviously I'm scared of it too, but the virus is scarier, so I got vaccinated. Of course, when Alex and I were in line for the vaccine, I was like, I do have anxiety about it. Like, yeah, I could get a blood clot and die. I really don't want to, obviously. But the chance of me getting a blood clot and dying are so much lower than me getting COVID and giving it to 10 people and having one of them die. Like, that's a higher chance. Me getting it, giving it to someone who dies, is a higher chance than me getting the vaccine and then getting a blood clot and dying. It's just very low. Anyway, we can move on from vaccine talk. Now that I've gotten all of my dislikes out of the way. Fully vaccinated V. Soon, what we found out here this morning was, since we are now in a hotspot, they're pushing up the boosters. So everybody who was vaccinated before May 3rd can now apply for their second shot, which means that Alex and I may be fully vaccinated before our wedding. Rebecca, the police literally use your cell phone to prove your whereabouts. Yeah, exactly. I'm always like, if there was an issue, the nurses and doctors would be dropping dead or reporting issues. They're not. Right. And also, nurses and doctors are not government agents. Like, they're literally don't want you to die. It's an inconvenience to the nurses in the ER. This virus is a very big, like, if you want to look at it at like a minimum, it's an inconvenience. Like, this is not a fun time for doctors and nurses. They're not trying to add to their own issues. It's like people saying sunscreen might cause cancer, so they don't wear it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Also, stop hating autistic people. She wasn't referring to me, Dawn. She was referring to the marketing around autism. Like, the idea that vaccines cause autism is like saying autism is a bad thing, whereas autism is just a label for a different way for the brain to be working. It's not broken, it's just different. Like, you can't fix autism. It is the way that you are. If you are a person with autism, you are just going to always be. You will never not be autistic if you're autistic, which is fine. It's just that there are a lot of like, I want to say there's marketing around it that it's like an illness, but it's not an illness. It's a chronic, it's like a lifelong, it's your brain wiring is slightly different. It's like if you have ADD, you can treat it, but you can't get rid of it. It's not get rid ofable. You can give people tools with autism. Nonverbal people can have like computers to talk. People who can't make eye contact can explain that, or have little cards that say, I don't make eye contact, but I'm happy to be your friend. Like that stuff. You're still a full person. That's all. If you have autism, you are valid. I'm marrying someone with autism and I love him so much, and nobody knows he has autism, and he didn't find out until he was like 30 something. Thank you, psychologist. Go to a psychologist for your depression and you'll find out that you're actually autistic. Sunscreen doesn't got cancer. No one uses nano zinc anymore. If a company's still using it, boycott them and report it. It's just the argument though, Sid. It's the same kind of argument. Like, you can't tell me that every single human being that works in healthcare is on some scheme. Right. Like, sure, big pharma, like the devil. We all know that. Big pharma's the devil. Not because of the pills that they create, but because of how they sell them. You know what I mean? Like, Oxycontin is not evil. It's the fact that it's the fact that it's the fact that the big pharma folks were like, let's prescribe it to everyone for everything and also sell it for a lot of money. Good. So that's what's evil, is that medicine is a business. That's what's evil. It's not the medicine itself. None of the pills that have been invented are invented for evil. It's just that the people who sell the pills want to make more money from them, aka insulin. Oxy is not even sold in Sweden. Oxy was prescribed to my siblings for their wisdom teeth. By the time I got there, it was Tylenol 3, but for my older siblings, they got Oxy. So glad that's changed, because that's an addictive drug to give teenagers who are in pain. Fun. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, they want to cure us, wipe us off the face of the earth, and that's gross. We are people. We deserve to exist. Yeah, and also, if they were to somehow cure a generation of people with autism, you know what would happen? The next generation of children would have children with autism. It's a birth thing. It's like 1 in 100 people or something, or 1 in 50 people have like, it's all over the place. It's not curable. It's everywhere. It's like not a thing to cure. It's just a different way of thinking, and neurodivergence sounds cooler than neurotypical anyway. I'm neurodivergent. Thanks for that book, Divergent, so that you could be like, I'm neurodivergent. Autistic people are usually brilliant. So that is actually a kind thing to say, sort of, but also not true. So autistic people can have special interests that end up looking like brilliance in a specific subject matter, but it can have to do with the fact that that special interest consumed their entire brain, more or less. So they are very, very knowledgeable on that thing. Not necessarily, though. So even though that may seem like a thing that, like, you'd be like, autistic people are a beautiful mind. They're magical people, right? Not necessarily. Sometimes, but not necessarily. Just to know. The culture is, we are here to save lives. I used to work for Big Pharma. The culture is, we're here to save lives. But there is some broken communication, Laura, in the Big Pharma train. Somewhere between the doctor, I guess it's not a doctor, somewhere between the lab technician inventing the pill, the doctors testing the pill and finding out it works, somewhere between that and the person picking it up at the pharmacy, some evil is between those two things. No, I don't think the people in those things are evil, but there's a spot in between that that is evil. There's evil in there. I don't know where exactly it is, but there's evil in there. There's some evil. There's somewhere in an office, there's a straight white man doing evil. You know? Don't get me wrong. If you're a straight white man and you're really nice, congrats. You don't deserve congratulations, because if you're a straight white man and you're really nice, you're kind of like a minority. But anyway, let's just not do a hate train here, but anyway, it's the marketing that's the issue. Did you watch A Beautiful Mind last night? No, Dawn. I just understand what it's about, because now that I've said I want to watch it, I keep getting little drops. People go like, oh, it's a really interesting movie, you know? It's about a guy. He has blah, 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 blah. That sort of thing. Can you imagine trying to live with diabetes and not having insulin? Yeah, or trying to have diabetes and then going to the pharmacy and then having the price be double what it was last time you came for no reason at all, just because no reason. And then having the awareness that you can cross over the border and get it for free. Like, what? You pay for your insulin here. You can have it delivered, and you can have like the fancy auto inject insulin stuff. That stuff's more expensive. But I mean, like, for regular like insulin stuff, that's not like life-ending money here. And it could be like you die from diabetes in the States because you can't afford to treat it. Like, diabetes is like a lifelong chronic crap illness. It's not a death sentence, but it seems like a death sentence in the States. Everything kind of seems like a death sentence in the States. I wish I could do that thing. Do you remember that movie where there was like a kid who he had a psychologist and he would get prescriptions for drugs and then sell them at his school, but he was being the psychologist for the kids at his school? Do you remember that movie? He would like go to school and he would like talk to the kids about their problems, and then he would go to his psychologist and repeat what the kid said. The doctor would prescribe him pills and then he would give it to the kids. That stuff. Whatever that movie was. I wish I could do that for you guys with insulin. The end. You can always find evil in bigger corporations. I believe it might be hidden by this there. It would be hidden by this there. That's free market capitalism. You know. I'm a sit and listen while drinking my coffee and knit on another pair of socks. Awesome. I think it's kind of a horrible movie. Well, I still haven't seen it, so I don't know, Frida. I still haven't seen it. No insulin results in death. Exactly. So you need it. You can always find evil in bigger corporations. It might be hidden very well, but it's there. Yes. It might be hidden, but it's there. So, what else happened yesterday? We did see the raccoon. I watered all my house plants. I tried the jam that we made last week. It was delicious, so that was fun. I picked a lot of flowers. Yeah, we can just stop talking vaccines and med stuff now. You're right. It's like a lot of energy sucked out of your soul to be like, please. Have you watched Sex Ed? It's hilarious. Dawn, yes, I watched, I don't know how many seasons there are, but I definitely watched a few episodes. I don't know if I watched a whole season because I don't know if, like, whatever the main conflict was, I don't know if I saw it resolved. It was fun, but I feel like the girl that isn't Margot Robbie, my brain kept being like, why is Margot Robbie playing a teenager? Thank you, Sid. A Beautiful Mind is about a character with schizophrenia. He is not autistic. Thank you. But those with autism, when overloaded and, no, I'm not going to make a statement because that's not based on science. It's based on, what is it called? When it's like a personal story. What is that called? Anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal was the word I was looking for, but thank you. Anyway, we're still going to watch A Beautiful Mind, regardless of what it's about. I haven't seen it, and people reference it, and I haven't seen it. And is Russell Crowe good in it? I don't know. Is he the guy who has schizophrenia, or is he the guy who's helping the guy with schizophrenia? Because when I saw Rain Man, I was surprised by that movie. Everybody else had seen it, like, in a long time ago, and then I saw it, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. You know what else I want to watch again? Do you remember the movie called K-Pax? It had, am I allowed to use the R word?
I have not been following his convictions.
Is the R word a blocked word on YouTube, though?
I have no idea.
Because I want to call him accused R word and then his name.
I think...
Like, I don't want to just say his name. I want him to always be associated with being a complete, grimy piece of garbage juice. He R-worded Anthony Pratt, which was Mark from Rent, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Knowing that as a child he was hurt by the space dirt. I can say his name. He doesn't matter anymore. Kevin Spacey. He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude who assaulted people. Anyway, K-Pax was a good movie though. And I want to watch it again. But I don't support Kevin Spacey. We had green beans from the garden for dinner last night. That's awesome, Laura. We have not. I like A Beautiful Mind. It's good, but it's fiction. Well, I'll let you know what I think about it on Monday because I'm going to watch it this weekend. K-Pax was fun because K-Pax was weird. And whenever he did something weird, it was like, ha, is he an alien or is he just dealing with mental health? What's going on? Is he someone who is... That was like the whole mystery of it, right? That I think. Obviously, I haven't watched it in a long time. I have to watch it again. Bad dude, great movie. Yeah, totally. So I want to watch that again. K-Pax. I want to watch A Beautiful Mind. And yes. Oh, thank you. They are blocked by YouTube. Thank you very much. That's why people say like a pediatrician. Definitely not a pediatrician though. A different type of pedia. But anyway, I'm going to watch that movie this weekend. Good day, all. I really hope you're well and finding joy in everyday life. Jay, I really am finding the joy in everyday life right now. I am enjoying my garden every single day. I did pull a tick off of me yesterday. And then when I went to look from... And so did Alex. When I pulled the tick off of me, though, and I felt the spot that I had pulled it off, because I just felt under my clothes like that, felt something and just went, ugh, before checking. So I didn't break it. Like it was still, its head was still inside of my tummy. It had just bit me, so it wasn't like stuck hard, but I had to get tweezers to pull out a proboscis out of it was like tiny, obviously. It was like 3 millimeters long, probably, or 2 millimeters long, and it was like a translucent tube, but it was stuck in my skin. So that was gross. Ticks scare me too, Dawn, a lot. I really, really don't like ticks. They really scare me. They scare me Oh my God. Is the spider still there, Alex? Do you guys want to see the scariest spider in the whole world? I caught it last night. Mark the spot and just pay attention for any rashing. Yeah, well, I did pull the thing out. Like, I grabbed the little thing with my tweezers, and when I pulled it pulled out like a little, like, quill, like a little translucent straw. So I did get it out. Can you see the dot, though? There's the dot right there on my very white tummy. But I will. Aren't you supposed to cover it in peanut butter? Man, I don't know. I know you're not supposed to pull a tick off. You're just not supposed to pull ticks right off of you. You're supposed to carefully pull them off. But I didn't know it was a tick. I just felt something on my skin and went, ooh. So there's that. We also had some of last year's squash. I still have 2 things from last year. I have my pumpkin. Where is my pumpkin? Oh, it's back here now. You can't see it. I have my pumpkin and I have my butternut squash. Oh my God, Laura's being evil. Do you want to see the scariest spider? Okay, but it is though. Do you want to see it? Because I don't want to show it to you if you don't want to see it because it's terrifying. But I'd want to show you because I've never seen a spider this size in Canada. Ever. Like Alex said, I don't think... He said, do you want to see a scary spider last night? And I was like, no. And he was like... I've never seen a spider this big. And I was like, fine. And then I went outside and I was like, I've never seen a spider this big. I've never seen a spider this big. So I'm going to show it to you, but I'll give you a trigger warning for anyone who doesn't want to see it. It's going to take me a second to go get it because it's outside and it's still alive. It is in a container because I caught it last night, but I'll be right back. But don't worry, I'm not going to just show it to you. I'll give you a trigger warning so you can look away. Thing is the scariest thing I've ever seen, honestly. Oh, God. Ugh. It literally gives me the heebie-jeebies looking at it. Like, it makes your skin crawl. If you are afraid of spiders, if you are afraid of large insects, look away for the next, 15 seconds. Or just keep your audio on so I'll tell you when I'm no longer showing the scariest spider in North America. Because in 3, 2, 1, now I'm showing a scary spider. Look at it. Okay, so you see the size. You don't see the size. Look at my hand. That's too big. That's too big. That right there. It's too big of a spider for North America. That's not a friendly looking... I would not want that to touch me. I wish I could show you. Maybe you can see. So, this is now, look at in my hand though. Imagine if you saw that on something. That's too big, right? That's too big. It can now, okay, it's now safe to look. If you're afraid of spiders, it's safe to look. I have now taken the spider off the screen. Okay, I want to see, and also I'm horrified. Literally me. That's what me last night. I was like, oh, like honestly, just touching that, yuck. Okay, yuck. Oh, it's not that big. I've seen those around here. Okay, well, Good for you. You're tough. That's too big to me. Brown recluse are aggressive and charge you. I've seen bigger spiders. Okay, Dawn, well, I'm glad I don't live where you live, because no thank you. Being charged at by a spider like that, I would die. Jay, that's not a big spider. I can't believe you don't have spiders bigger than that. Jay, literally, you guys have spiders that eat birds. I'm talking for Ontario, this is a large spider. Yes, obviously, if you're like in freaking Australia, you've got tarantulas and stuff. Brown recluse are horrible and poisonous too. Yeah, but they don't kill you, right? Have you ever seen a spricket? Those things are freaky. Okay, let's see what a spricket is. Is it a spider? No, it would be called a spider. Spricket. Ew. Is that a katydid? That looks like a katydid. Is a spricket, does it make noise? Spricket, katydid. Let's see if they're the same thing. Huh. Anyway. Yes, bird-eating spiders and live in the bush. That's a no. 10-eyed, that's also a no from me. Not a fan. Brown recluse can kill you. Then good, no thank you. Australia has huge 10-eyed spiders. I think that I'm happy with this being the largest spider that I've got. What do you think it is? Do you guys know what spider it is? Let's see what Ontario has for large spiders, shall we? Big Spider, Ontario. Oh, it's like not even a big deal. Okay, fine. It's just a dock spider. I don't have a dock here. Why are you here? Ugh. Are there any dangerous spiders in Ontario? Although feared by many, Ontario spiders are generally not dangerous and hardly ever bite. In Ontario, however, the only rare and shy northern widow spider is considered dangerous to people. Even from this species, the bite is very unlikely to be fatal. Thank you, Canada. Thank you. If global warming could just slow down enough that I never have to see black widow spiders in my yard, I'd really appreciate that. So this is a dock spider. Really? I've seen dock spider. This is a really well-eating spider. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because the collector of oddities side of Laura wants to just keep it forever and then pin it like a butterfly. And then that same side of me, the side that wants to keep it forever, also doesn't want it to survive. Like, how do you humanely, I guess, freeze it? I guess I'll freeze it. I'll freeze it to kill it. Because I don't want to let it go. I don't want it to be, I'd never want to run into this spider again. And I understand that it probably has eaten so many insects. I bet it has done such a good job at being a spider. But the amount of, like, right now, I have goosebumps, like real goosebumps on my arms because I'm looking at it. Like, I really don't like it. I like looking at it. I really don't like spiders. I don't like them. I appreciate them. I love that they do their job. I'm literally talking about spiders and I have goosebumps. I don't like it. I'm allergic to even little spider bites. I need an EpiPen, then hospital. Jeez Louise, Dawn, that's scary. Love you all, but bed calls me. Bye, Jay. Have a good rest of your night. Good night. Sid, release it in the woods. Melanie, yes, pin it. I'm glad we're both on the same page. My son saw a spider in our bathroom and called it a tornado spider. Was it the web style? Dawn, you think release it also? But then it will make babies that are also gigantic, and I don't want more of those. I would freak out and keep thinking they would get away from the container and then be afraid to be on my own in the house. Goosebumps, I think your body is telling you that you don't want to keep it. My body is like, that is not supposed to be in here. But I love dead things, but it's not dead. So, sorry, I know that's not what you want to hear. I know it's not, but like, honestly, it's so freaky looking. It's just so large. It's just too big for me. Well, My rule is if spiders are outside, they can live. If they come in the house, they will die. I think that's fair. It was really close to the house. It was thinking about sneaking in. I'm anthropomorphizing it. Fine, I'll let it go. Fine. You're lucky. The YouTube community. It's like, Gladiator. That's what just happened. You're welcome. He just thought it looked scary and related it to a tornado. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. Well, I don't normally kill spiders inside because if they're inside, they're doing a job. I understand. Like if I see a spider that is in my walking area, it's dead to me. If I see a spider and it's too low on the wall, like if it's lower than 5 feet on the wall, dead. If it's higher than 5 feet on the wall, it's safe because it's doing a job. I feel like as long as it's in 5 feet or higher or on the ceiling, it's where it should be. Yay, good for the spider. Lucky you, spider. I will get some good photographs of it first, though. You have the whole bed. Why are you cuddling up against my fabric? Look at him. He's just so small. That spider could probably eat thunder. Don't you think? So my plan for today is to bundle up my herbs separately. Oh no, they can be inside, but the agreement I have with them is if I see them, they're dead. Period. If I see you and you catch my eye, you better not be moving during the day while I'm here. You better be hidden. Yeah. But I do appreciate that. No name for the spider? What do you guys want to name her? She's obviously a lady. She is tough. Has anyone seen a pink spider before? I believe us into this house so far. Unless I need to change my glasses prescription. I believe us into my house so far. Has anyone ever seen a pink spider before? I've not seen a pink spider before, but I have seen a pale green spider before. Oh my god, this spider though really freaks me out. We have green spiders here, like the lime green, yellowy green. To make chamomile tea bags, what would you use? I probably wouldn't make the tea bags. I would probably sell it as a loose tea, Dawn, because I don't want to be touching a lot of the stuff. Like when I sell things to people, I try to have the least amount of contact with it as possible. So I would say for tea bags, I would just go to David's Tea and get those the fillable tea bags. I like those ones for like my winter tea. And if I'm feeling like motivated, then I'll use the metal reusable ones. Yeah, loose tea is more eco-friendly too and easy to package. And yeah, it's just, I like loose tea for the packaging idea. I don't know how I would package it up though. Maybe in like little paper boxes. I was trying to say I've seen this. Talk to text is terrible. I was trying to say, I've seen this. Talk to text is terrible. Yet my sister does talk to text whenever she's driving, and I think it's the funniest thing, because it'll often be like, LOL, period, spelled out. Like, I think it's funny. Heart emoji, heart emoji. My head is murdering me. In pain, or in intrusive thoughts, or in panic feelings, because my brain does any and all. I had this one little spider keep running around my room, Sid said. It finally charged me on my desk and splat. I was like, got you, you little jerk. Well, I never kill jumping spiders because they literally want nothing to do with you. So I never bother with jumping spiders ever to kill them. I only kill ones that have the long, creepy legs. If it has a tarantula little body, I don't mind it. It's even funnier when an English voice is trying to pronounce Swedish. Oh, right. I bet. Ew, with the way that the vowels sound coming out of English. Totally. I wonder what Russian sounds like. Voice to, like, text read out. If they'll just read it in Russian. But yeah, if it's a jumping spider, I'm not going to bother with it. If it's a creepy spider, like if it looks venomous, I know it's not, but if it looks venomous, it's dead to me. If it looks like a tarantula, I'm good. Are you suffering migraine because of the temperature, Frida? I hope not. Frida, I wish I could help, but I don't know anything to do for headaches, because whenever I get them, I'm broken because I don't get them often. So if I get a bad headache, I'm functionally broken. I've had a metal teaspoon for tea and an egg-shaped steeper too. I have an egg-shaped steeper. It doesn't work. I need it to be like finer. I need a finer mesh strainer. But then it gets bits of tea caught in it and it's inconvenient to clean. Life is so difficult. You know what they need to do is make teeny tiny coffee filters that you can put in those reusable tea steepers. I don't know what I'm trying to think of something, but I don't know. But yeah. So that's the, oh God. She's cleaning off her fingers right now. Oh my God, her fangs are huge, you guys. Yeah, no, that would really hurt if she bit you for sure. She's cleaning her legs. Like she's cleaning the hairs off her legs like a tarantula. Why you gotta be so terrifying, huh? If all you eat is flies and stuff? If you're she's literally like moisturizing her legs, like the equivalent of after you shave your legs. She's like doing this. No, it's too hot. I've been sleeping badly and have tensed my shoulders, so water and mild painkiller. Fair. White people problems. Yeah, my tea steeps not right, actually. I'm probably gonna just stare at this spider for like half an hour before I let her go. Oh my gosh. Also, for you guys, I got, oh, Dina, you don't have to, block Dawn. No, I can't unblock. Sorry, Dawn. I think that, Dina probably thought that the white people problems joke was not in good taste. So she deleted it, but then she accidentally timed you out. So, no worries there. Dina, don't worry about Dawn. I think it was just a joke, but thank you for trying to keep us moderated. But sorry, I'm now distracted by this spider. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna stare at this spider. Didn't name her. If you want to name her, we can name her. Oh God, she is so scary. She's so scary. By the way, don't forget to like the video before you leave. Also, for those of you who are patrons, I have a bonus video coming out this week that is just like a ASMR fire time lapse of a beautiful like midsummer floral fire burning down. That's what I was going to tell you. The thing I forgot was that there is an additional video coming out that is just a chill sunset over a field with a fire that has flowers in it burning slowly and sage burning on one side and the birds and the frogs. It's like a nice little video. So that's going to be coming out for patrons as like a nice little bonus one. So stay tuned for that if you're a patron. And also, Agent Texas became a patron. Thank you so much, Agent T. I really appreciate it. I got the notification and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for joining. To all of my patrons, thank you for joining. I do appreciate you. Let me just put the little screen up so you guys can see. If you don't, you definitely don't have to. But I do love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for coming by, Lebo. I will see you guys on Monday because it's Friday. So have a good weekend. Wash your hands when you handle things and come back inside because the pandemic is still here. Don't forget, it's not over. Wear your mask, all the things. And drink water, be nice to yourself, and put your ankles up at the end of the day so that your ankles don't get swollen. I think that's it. Is there anything else that I missed? Check out the vlog that I posted yesterday. It's a really nice vlog. It's like an hour long and it's just chill and pretty and I make rose petal jam in it. So you should check it out. Okay. See you later, guys. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Okay. Love you. Bye.